Well, thank you for joining Wolf Game Theory today, as always, and just know nothing in the show is to be construed or interpreted as financial advice. Also, any guest of the show is not reflective of the opinions and or point of view of Wolf Game Theory and should be considered opinion. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wolf Game Theory. I am Layer Cake, and I'm joined today by
Neil Bottle.
And one Mr. jsteezy, who we'll get into a little later about some wool. We're feeling very woolish today. So we'll jump right into it. In the current standings of the Alpha game, we've got Real Crypto Coach, G Money, Panther QB, and Wongsworth. Unchanged from yesterday. Really unchanged through the bottom half of the pack as well. We've got Crypto Coach number 2, followed by AJ, Woolish 1026, Johnny Mo, Just Some Guy, Frenzy, Lord Fenrir, Malcode, and the Shamdu, with Mr. Anon hanging out at the bottom once again. If we look at the action on the field, we look at some attacks. Lots of attacks, actually. There's only a couple of fortifications. We'll work our way backwards, and we'll look at Woolish 1026. And they destroyed a fortification to Mr. AJV, so it looks like Woolish is turning his attention to Mr. AJ, and I hope this little spat plays out. I'm kind of sick of hearing about Crypto Corey and Mr. Panther. I don't know about you.
We need another rivalry. We do.
Yeah, we need a little something, and I think Malcode started stirring the pot with his little mercenary service, and we'll go through once again, and we'll talk about Malcode. He was actually used to attack the real Crypto Coach Corey, and I want to say, between you and me, that was probably a Panther commissioned attack, and I bet we'll be right when we check that out later. Just Some Guy attacked Woolish 1026 and destroyed a fortification. Real Crypto Corey attacked Panther, and dare I say it, what else is new? 1026, Woolish 1026, that is, built a fortification, and Lord Fenrir as well. To round out, Crypto Coach Corey once again hailed an attack at Panther QB. And 4775, the Anon, destroyed a fortification for AJ. So dare I say it, might there be the alliance between the Anon team and 1026? Why would both go for the same team? I don't know. Why not Johnny Mo? He's the one who's launching all the attacks. This I do not know. So let's go and look at the mercenary side and see who launched that attack on Mr. Crypto Corey. Should we play some bets? Let's take a look. Oh, you want actually? No. Oh. Yeah, you're right. Let's go to wolfgame.live right now, and we'll check the floor prices of the animals. Looking pretty good as usual.
Yep, pretty low percentages. You're down on like 1% for Generation 1 sheep. Some of the rarer ones have a little bit higher listed. But then on the wolves, a few under 1%, a lot at around that 2% range. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's very low. Less than 2% of land and just 1% of farmers listed. So yeah, like this is just a lot staked. I'm surprised there hasn't been more of an impact on the floor. But
yeah, that is super interesting. But I think people are just awaiting the full game, really.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Oh, there's that gift still.
And this one was pretty interesting. So I think we'll start off the conversation with Steezy with maybe having a little talk about this GIF.
Yeah, so here we got jsteezy here with us in the studio, and this gentleman was tasked with the running of the G Money Alpha 8 squad, or the Wolves of the North, as they're called in the kingdom. And yeah, let's get right into this GIF right here. What did you think about this, Steezy, when you first saw this?
Yeah, we kind of thought it was coming, I guess. Looks like we've joined the likes of Panther and whoever else has been labeled as the snake. Props to the gift skills, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a term making those, or whoever else is making them. Great job. It's
savage.
Awesome.
Some savagery going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Ruthless. We got some brewing up ourselves, though, so we'll be sure to hit those back.
Is it me, or does Corey's wolf look shorter than your wolf?
G Money's wolf. Well,
I think it's
you
just
know,
perspective. It's perspective.
this is
I
this
don't
is
think that's a coincidence.
I think this is quite an attack on G Money. G Money
Oh,
hasn't
yeah.
done anything to Corey. Well, we slipped in a little attack there the other day, I suppose, but or a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if we can at the town hall squeeze what G Money thinks. Maybe convince G Money to go all out on an attack and call for his crypto natives, his OG friends, to come join him on the battlefield.
We can only hope.
Yeah, do a little Gary Vee strategy and call in the cavalry, call in the internet cavalry.
This
You
means
never know. We
war.
definitely have that wild card.
Ooh,
down end of the road chance.
Hot take.
Don't count us out.
I kind of was explaining to that the other day. You know, the if you've ever read Lord of the Rings by J.R. Tolkien, there's the battle of Helm's Deep, when all hope was lost, and then the cavalry came riding over the rage at sunrise. So we might see something like that play out in this Farmville Game of Thrones universe that we've been hurled into. But yeah, I mean, if we look at, at the show, sometimes when we run down, we do a little strategy take. We look at the strategy and we look at the things that the teams do. Steezy, you guys, obviously, without divulging any information on strategy, you guys went from pretty solid fortification to a pretty solid attack. Is that something that you had in mind all along, or is that just you're reacting to the gameplay of others? Or what?
Yeah, I would say definitely everything's changed, like everyone's plan, I think, and there's lots of different stuff going on, like behind the scenes. We definitely wish we could just fortify. I'm sure everybody kind of does. And yeah, we've been chipped away. I think we got up to 4 at one time.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
We were getting chipped away at, which wasn't good. But I think people just don't really like the top 3 teams to have forts, obviously. Maybe even number 4. Maybe that puts Wongsworth in the spotlight now.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, his MO up to this point has just been kind of laying in the cut, just chilling. Yeah. Just kind of letting people do their thing and doesn't really raise the meter at all on anyone's sort of attack mode, whatever you want to call it. So are you feeling, I mean, obviously, are you feeling threatened by Wongsworth? Do you think we should be watching him? Is he a mover?
Definitely keeping an eye on everybody. He's moving along pretty good there, but okay. We like Wongsworth.
He's an attack in 10
how
minutes.
Are you holding up? I mean,
oh yeah, attack in 10 minutes. Wow.
Well, or in action, it probably might fortify. Who knows? But I suppose he could start taking jabs or trying to keep crypto underneath him, like keep him in the rearview mirror. Because his production's higher, definitely on the sheeps and the wool.
Yeah, he's gained quite a bit. Those 120 wolves, he's got some serious weight there.
Yeah, as I look at the board, I see like a drastic descension of just some guy, and then Wongsworth and AJ seem to be the fast movers up the board right now. That's what I see.
Benmir is also way ahead of his positioning. He's moving up fast.
Yeah, I think they're feeling confident after the wool game.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a serious victory.
Oh yeah, they will pass out. They'll be up on unless they'll be on the heels of Johnny Moe in no time. 100%, within the next few days. And then by the next event, who knows? That way.
Yeah, and I look at Malcode and his recent sort of niche he's put himself into. I don't know if there's going to be much movement. I mean, obviously he could just keep injecting wool in 16,000 increments into his team and move up that way, which that'll work. That's the brilliance of that mechanism is you have these top tier teams who are just pouring wool into this this bottom team who's gonna then take said wool and use it against them. It's really
It's
madness.
it is.
This game theory. Okay, this whole thing is just a grand psychological.
Yeah, there's
experiment.
definitely a lot of teams with multiple different teams they're staked on, like strategically, and we can expect surges every now and then. I think that's how Panther got a pretty big run in the wool game. Is
right.
He had a bunch of animals staked elsewhere and consolidated.
And so, do you think this
Yeah.
game has changed in your mind as from the time it started, just in how you're sort of going at it and where you're dedicating your brain? And do you think it's become like a different game than day one?
Yeah, like a bit different, I guess, than I expected. Even though not much has changed, just the way it's turning out, and just constantly seeing the advancement, and it's just everything's changing in real time. It's really hard to kind of guess, however many moves ahead, but that's definitely what it seems to be about, is timing it. Definitely when we think, when it's coming up on the end of the game, we want to make some moves, around that time, and play around that timeline they give us when they do.
Oh, we're about a minute away here. We might get a move on air. And I mean, I shouldn't have said that. Every time I say that, we don't.
Oh,
Every time I'm like, we should get a move on air. It's 5 minutes, and it ends up being Woolish 1026, who then doesn't move, or Shamdu, who doesn't move for like a day.
I can imagine
gonna be
that
some-
this attack is going to be on Corey.
yeah. I mean, why buck the trend, right?
maybe Panther holds it and waits for Wongsworth to get it, and then waits for Wongsworth to use it, so he knows he doesn't attack him. And then if Wongsworth attacks Panther, then he has this ready and he'll attack him back. I don't know.
This is what they
Yeah.
call a Mexican standoff.
We'll come back to it in a few minutes and we can see what happens. But will we go and have a bit of a talk about wool and where it's at?
Let's look at our friend. Ooh, look at that. 16 cents. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to say it again, like I've been saying the past couple of days. It's forming a pretty nice base. I mean, I'm not the most amazing chart reader, but the charts I have seen that look like that, it looks like wool is establishing a nice base. What do you think, Mr. Steez?
Yeah, I think wool's really cheap. Don't know how much more there is to it than that. Yeah, it's quiet. It's understandably cheap though, and it's just like, there is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of deals happening. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's kind of like, oh, I've already missed half the game. Maybe I'll just get some land or farmers instead, and that makes sense.
Right.
It does make sense. So but at the same time, like, a lot of people are switching now, and it might not, and this could go longer than we all think. It could go, could go to the end of the month and we still don't hear about an ending date. So
Absolutely.
it's there is the Wolf Moon coming up mid-month, but that doesn't mean anything necessarily. It's always a good time to get some wool. Definitely now, though, being where we are with the Shep and Wolf game, I've found that you always kind of want to be buying it when you don't need it, as hard as that is, because I've just learned that from so many times not having wool, and then Shep pulling something out of nowhere where it's like you need a shitload of wool, or like the start of Alpha game, for instance, was like such demand for wool. Like, I wouldn't give any of it away, and obviously staked it all like right away, and kept adding to it for like the first 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And then you could have kept doing it, but you only have so much you can put in, and it was just like I think I added one more time like a week ago or so, but now I'm just kind of coasting and seeing. I've got some around a couple other teams still that I can move in. I know some other people do too. Animals and wool.
Yeah, there's going to be people who really wish they picked up some wool at this price.
Oh yeah, there always is too, right? It's just like within one tweet, it can just double so quickly, and
it's performing strong, I think.
Yeah, like given the market, and
and where the game is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even
Yeah.
fully launched yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you have these full launch games that are, their coins are half the price, if that.
Like, look at how much we have staked. It's not like people are,
Absolutely.
trading or selling their wool. It's like
Right.
we've pretty much just kind of all staked what we're going to stake, and then it's just kind of low volume, trickling down, and there's no immediate need to have a bunch, but I'm sure there will be soon. It's always just around the corner.
Right. We have another interim game of the interim game, correct? I mean, which was promised to us.
Yeah. And I think it was specifically said that it's another wool game, which is really interesting. Yes. So yeah, I actually stepped into a little bit of extra wool when I saw that, just because I was a little low on wool.
It's funny, these recent tweets from the Shepherd have had a little bit different of a tone to them. I don't want to say frustration on his part, because I don't want to be presumptuous, because, I hate it when, this is why I don't text message much.
Myself
You
included.
can't really dictate emotion on a sentence of words, but sometimes you can. But what I'm saying is, like, telling us we're not playing the game right, and telling us to behave, and, things like that, just coming out as this sort of, disciplinarian in the game, so to speak. I wonder, if he's setting us up for this next game to, kind of fall in line a little more with what's happening and not get so distracted with the drama, so to speak.
And I think another reason why maybe wool's a bit cheaper right now, even though they announced that, is because the first time, he announces like wool event. So of course everybody thinks you need a ton of wool, myself included. Wool goes up a bunch, and then it makes sense to call it the wool game because he's giving you wool, but you don't need it. Wool doesn't even do anything for it. So
yeah, because something that
anticipating that this time, and maybe he does it the other way, where you actually do need wool.
Something I theorized on was that maybe for the next one, and something that could really change the dynamics of the game, is taking a larger percentage and doing something similar, a similar kind of game to do with staking wool or whatnot. So yeah, like that, because that could just turn the game upside down at the last minute.
Yeah, he could do really the same thing just for wool, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There was absolutely no risk involved in the last game, correct? I don't think there was risk involved.
So
there's risk, I guess, for the people that made a decision to switch packs.
Right.
I guess you could view that as some type of risk if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, you burned it. You burned that wool.
Yeah, there's definitely a game theory to it, but
like his game worked. A lot of people, it put a lot of movement out there. Like it was almost even like more than I expected, right? Like that's a fair bit of, probably, I don't know what the numbers would be, but 30% maybe movement of burnt, like moving around.
Oh, let's go down and see that move.
Yeah, so
what did Panther do then?
Panther, surprisingly, he attacked Corey.
Oh, big surprise there.
So yeah, but
which one? The top team?
It took a good whack out. Like Corey was at 2.2, and he's at 2.15 now. So like that 3% hurt. If that keeps on happening, and we like teams below aren't getting hit. 2.2.
Oh wow, yeah, it's chipping away.
And that only gets bigger, that percentage.
Yeah. Attacks only get more effective over
exactly
time.
Yeah, sorry, more effective, yeah. So unless someone really takes a pummeling like Panther, where I'd say sometimes maybe attacks are taking less each time.
Yeah. True.
I like it has surprised me that Panther has been kept back, considering his production, that way.
Yes. Yeah.
That's...
I think he's got pretty conservative numbers though. Like he's got a lot of extra weight around. I think that he could move, that he's just timing and kind of just chilling there.
Yeah.
I picture him just like drafting in like a NASCAR behind us and just like waiting to make his move.
In the drift, yeah. He's for sure an interesting character. Crazy, interesting videos and energy from him. But I don't know. Did you have a chance to check out the lore that House Panther wrote up?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is so cool and impressive. Yeah.
We're definitely House Panther fans.
Yeah. So, do we want to wind up the show there, or is there anything else we want to touch on?
Oh, I think we've been good. And is there anything else you want to shoot the shit about, Steezy, before we head over there and try to set up this town hall?
Yeah, I think that's it for me for now. So thanks a lot for having me, guys. It's great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you for coming, man. Have enjoy the strategizing with your kingdom.
Yeah, I'll see you guys there, I hope.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, peace.
Peace.
Peace.